There is a mysterious character in the Boruto Naruto Next Generations series who bears a great deal of resemblance to Kakashi. This led many fans to believe that he could actually be Kakashi's son. What also fueled these rumors was that at the end of Naruto Shippuden, Kakashi revealed that he actually had a son. What actually intrigues us fans is the great similarity this character has with Kakashi both in appearance and also in fighting style that was presented to us. This essentially made him to be the next Kakashi in the new generation. In today's video, we would be looking at who exactly is Hoki Taketori and if he really is Kakashi's son. Also, his relationship with the former Hokage would be examined, and also why he bears a resemblance to the former leader of Team 7. But before we dig in, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Not much is known about Hoki as his story is still unfolding and Kishimoto is still in the process of writing it. But little by little, we are getting to know him and who he is. While he can be extremely dedicated to his missions, Hoki can be overconfident and irritable when in command. At the same time, he is not without insecurities, showing noticeable stress at failing. But Hoki has proved to be quite a capable ninja. Contrary to popular opinion, Hoki isn't the son of Kakashi. Kakashi actually has not been revealed to have any children or even to have gotten married. But this doesn't actually really change the fact that Hoki has a connection with Kakashi. Hoki Taketori doesn't just only have a similar look to Kakashi but has been inspired by the 6th Hokage since his childhood. Hoki is a zealous individual who actually admires Kakashi Hatake greatly and wishes to follow in his footsteps. Kakashi is the reason why he wants to be stronger. This inspiration makes Hoki want to be like 6th Hokage in the future. The accomplishments that Kakashi had achieved in life made him actually to develop a great respect for him. So far, we haven't seen any tangible connection between the duo, however in the future, this may end up occurring. Although Kakashi is no longer a Hokage, he is still a very busy person, which makes the meeting between both of them very unlikely. Although they have actually met a few times, they haven't actually had a proper conversation to be able to form a good friendship between themselves. However, nothing prevents Kakashi from helping this young ninja out in the future. They may even end up becoming friends in the future, and Kakashi can even train the young ninja to use the same jutsus that he used, or a potentially far more powerful jutsus than the one he uses. Just as we have said before, Hoki is greatly inspired by Kakashi. From his dressing to the entirety of his life to even go as far as joining the Anbu just like he did in his childhood. This decision made Hoki to be a skilled ninja to a large extent and able to act without being noticed. After Danzo lost his life to Sasuke during their confrontation, the Anbu organization was left without any leader. Kakashi decided to take up this role and became the leader of Anbu. But his leadership over the Anbu was limited because of his Hokage duties, and this made it impossible for him to be a present leader. However, through the help of Sai, he was able to coordinate the group. After some time, Sai was able to lead the Anbu members. It was through all of this that we saw Sai accept the young ninja Hoki as a member of the Anbu. At a young age, Hoki was proved to be a prodigy. This actually made Sai very proud as he actually considered him the strongest member of the Anbu when compared to other members of the organization who are in his age grade. It's quite clear that Hoki did this to follow in the footsteps of Kakashi because as we all know, Kakashi was also a member of the Anbu when he was younger, which made him to have a great fame all over the world. Kakashi even went as far as participating in certain high-ranking missions with Itachi Uchiha, who was also a part of the Anbu organization, and this allowed for a respect to be created between them as they both recognized they were strong. Since Hoki is in the Anbu, this shows that he possibly will spend most of his life in the Anbu acting and following in the footsteps of Kakashi. A possible goal of Hoki is to become strong so that Kakashi would notice him. And this can actually happen, especially if Kakashi takes it up on himself to train him. From a young age, Hoki has shown that he is quite experienced when it comes to espionage. In addition to having some strong jutsu, he may have at some point wanted to possess the power of the Sharingan as well as Kakashi had. We know that Orochimaru probably has several hidden Sharingans as he was responsible for installing Sharingans in Danzo. So it's quite possible he still has some eyes. Hoki can actually ask Orochimaru to implant a Sharingan eye. If an instance in the future arises when Hoki loses his Sharingan with the help of some skilled medical ninjas like Sakura and Tsunade, Kakashi can also hand over his Sharingan eye to him, giving him his title of Copy Ninja. Hoki can also become a leader of the Anbu in the future if he is properly trained and becomes very strong. Hoki also has a very good memory because he can actually memorize things quickly and he can reproduce them easily. This allows him to memorize his opponent's attacks, which helps him to gain a great advantage over his enemies. Hoki can also perform hand seals at a very fast speed. Hoki also seems to have an affinity with stone-style jutsus, but he's however not limited to it because the ninjas of the Boruto generations can use more than 2 elements. And this may be the case with Hoki, although he has not used any high-ranking jutsus like Rasengan or Chidori. But we have seen Hoki using a not-so-common jutsus where he sends his chakra to the ground by slamming his hands on it, which then causes it to grow numerous rock pillars that rise in various directions, which ends up forming a labyrinth that ends up surrounding the enemy along with the user. Due to his high memorization skills, Hoki can easily memorize the corridors of the labyrinth in a few minutes, and this gives him a geographical advantage over his opponents, thus making him to easily corner his enemies very easily and escape the labyrinth. Hoki can actually easily manipulate a single column using it to attack his opponents. As a member of the Anbu, Hoki has some techniques that only members have. A good example is the barrier technique against Metal Lee attacks. This particular technique is taught to humble the members of the Anbu so that they are able to resist attacks that want to break into their minds, thereby preventing confidential information from being leaked. In order for this technique to be learned, it's quite necessary to undergo a very high level of training which an ordinary or beginner ninja would normally not be able to do. This shows that Hoki has a great capacity for evolution since he was able to advance his techniques. If this technique is performed poorly, the user would lose control over his mind and the mind would be destroyed. And this technique is activated when an enemy invades the user's mind either to control him or to extract information. Inside the mind, the invader will visualize the user's image in a terrifying way which ends up creating a giant creature that devours the opponent and causes terror and makes the ninja to lose access to the user's mind, which ends up allowing the user to free themselves from the mind control the enemy was trying to exert over them. And this helps them to be able to defeat any ninja that tries to capture them. The Yamanaka clan are dangerous to Anbu members because they have a special jutsu which is used to invade the minds of their opponents. However, the fact that Hoki can use these 2 jutsus has proven that he's actually a very skilled ninja at his young age. He can use advanced skills that even adults would actually have difficulty in using, and this simply demonstrates that he can actually become a very powerful ninja in the future, just like Kakashi. Just as we saw in the past when powerful ninjas trained younger ninjas because they saw the great potential they had for the ability to evolve, so they end up training them to see their real powers. This simply means Kakashi can also end up training Hoki since, as said before, he is quite skilled and he also has the Earth-style jutsu like Hoki. And this can allow him to teach more skilled and advanced techniques to Hoki. Kakashi can also teach Hoki the summoning jutsu and to also summon the Ninken. The Ninken are ninja dogs that are capable of using the human language, walk on water, develop different types of combat strategies, and also have a very keen sense of smell. They are supposed to be quite dangerous in combat as Kakashi knows in the anime that they can tear their opponents apart on his command. He can summon them separately as he commonly does so with Pakkun or all together. He can also summon them for special purposes like he does with his summoning earth release tracking fang technique. With this technique, the dogs can travel through the ground following the scent of their target, emerging when the target is found and holding them in place. They all have a face-shaped design on their backs called Heno Heno Moheji, which is the sound made when all the characters in the face are put together. This would actually be a very useful technique for Hoki because as an Anbu member, he needs to act without being noticed so that he would be able to fulfill his given missions. And with this power, he can easily immobilize his enemies in order to extract information from them or even prevent opponents from achieving their goals. Also, Kakashi can teach his defensive techniques using Earth-style jutsus. An example is the large stone barrier that Kakashi uses to defend himself from certain attacks or even more powerful techniques. We also see Kakashi create 4 walls to prevent passage through, leaving the only way out being over the circle of earth that Kakashi had created.